From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. The Speaker of the House of Commons has survived a vote put forward by the Conservatives to remove him from his position. The effort to oust Greg Fergus failed by a vote of 142 to 168 after the NDP sided with the governing Liberals. Earlier Tuesday, Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon said the opposition vote was meant to create chaos and to delay government work and create distrust in democratic institutions.
Claims today being made are entirely conjured in conservative backrooms.
Just like
why?
Your support for Ukraine.
Because they wish to delay and disturb the proceedings of this House.
This is the third time in less than 8 months the Conservatives have called on Fergus to step down. They insist he is too partisan. A group of Canadian and American emergency doctors and addiction specialists is urging ER physicians to prescribe specific medications to help curb cravings and alleviate withdrawal from heavy use of alcohol. New guidelines on prescribing by the Society for Academic Emergency Medicine include input from patients harmed by alcohol dependence. Lead author of this new report, Dr. Bugh Borgenvog at Toronto's Sinai Health System, says people who suddenly stop drinking after consuming large amounts of booze can end up with severe withdrawal symptoms, including seizures. Jurors in Donald Trump's hush money trial are expected to begin deliberations today once they receive instructions from the judge. Reporter Aaron Katersky in New York has more on closing arguments made yesterday by the defense.
The defense closing argument was fairly simple. There was no crime that former President Trump committed. The evidence doesn't add up. The prosecutor's theory of the case is absurd. And you can't believe a word that Michael Cohen says because Trump's former fixer is, in the words of defense attorney Todd Blanche, the greatest liar of all time.
Prosecutors used their closing remarks to say Trump engaged in a conspiracy to hoodwink voters ahead of the 2016 election. And it's time to get the sunscreen and summer wardrobe ready. The Weather Network's annual summer forecast is predicting more sunshine and warmer temperatures, with fewer rainy days and humid conditions for several regions.
This summer, Canada is expected to be dealing with some wild weather in some parts of the country. The Weather Network's chief meteorologist, Chris Scott, says Canadians can expect everything from dry spells to poor air quality to hurricanes.
Localized drought conditions, as well as the chance of some powerful storms at times, and additionally, a heightened risk for wildfires. The other big story we're watching this summer is the likelihood for a hyperactive Atlantic hurricane season.
But there is some good news in sight. Farmers on the prairies have seen better precipitation levels in recent months, and the heat in BC is forecast to be less persistent and less severe than it has been in the past few years. Laurie Paris, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, NHL playoff action last night saw Sam Reinhart's power play goal, 72 seconds into overtime, lift the Florida Panthers to a 3-2 win over the New York Rangers. That ties the NHL's Eastern Conference final at 2 games apiece. The Edmonton Oilers are looking to tie up their series with the Dallas Stars tonight, and they're hoping to change momentum after Monday's loss. But as Canadian Press national hockey writer Josh Clipperton explains, players on Canada's last remaining team in the playoffs are still optimistic.
They understand the opportunity they have. They have a chance to even the series on home ice and make it a best of 3 in the Western Conference final.
Stuart Skinner is expected to start in net tonight for the Oilers. The Walter Cup will be presented tonight in Boston. The Professional Women's Hockey League winner-take-all showdown will be won by either Minnesota or Boston. Their best-of-5 final is tied at 2. And the Toronto Blue Jays are going for the sweep tonight when they finish their 3-game set with the lowly Chicago White Sox. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.